Hi everyone, I'm Deepa. I hope you all are doing well. Today I am live with Sharon. She is a nutritionist and she's so passionate and talented and gifted. And I know I say this, but I've been so blessed to come across these people who love what they do and are on this amazing mission to share the knowledge that they learn and would like to help others with. So let me bring Sharon on and let's get started. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Loving the heat at the moment.
I know well, I'm in New York. It's warm here as well, but
It's
I
tropical here.
hear everyone's melting there.
I'm enjoying it. It's only here for a little while, and then before you know it, it's going to be back to typical British weather. So this is nice.
Exactly. Let's make the most of it
Most of
because the
it.
body also needs this heat.
Yeah, yeah. I needed this heat. I needed this time.
What, why would you say that? Why do you need the heat?
Do you know? It just gives me a spring in my step. Everything just seems so much better. Everything just seems doable. And also, I notice, even as a nutritionist myself, the dietary choices change according to the weather. You want to eat more fresh. You're having more of the good stuff. Do you know, you want to have
Yeah.
more of the foods that are going to hydrate you. You want to have more of the foods that are going to keep you satiated. You're not going towards foods which are, the stodgy foods that which you would go towards if it was cold, for example, the pies or the chips, etc. You're going more towards foods that are going to nourish you.
Yeah, I lean more towards watermelon.
Yeah, it's hydrating. I mean, I lean more towards cucumbers when it's really this hot. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. With some olives.
Olives, bit of salsa on the
Okay.
side, bit of hummus on
Yeah,
the
be
side.
like, live done. I'm gonna go make myself a nice salad. How are you? Well, obviously you're enjoying the heat, but how are you doing? How is work going? How can people work with you, or what is it that you offer?
So on the work front, everything's going really well. I am working with a number of ladies at the moment, helping them to understand that food is not the enemy here. So with their mindset, the way they have been, the information they've taken in for the past decade, maybe 2 decades, they believe certain food groups make them fat. It doesn't. Firstly, fat is a macronutrient. Everyone has it. We're all made up of it. It doesn't define you. But if you are overweight and you know yourself, maybe your joints are hurting, maybe you can't hold a conversation without getting out of breath, or perhaps you just know your body's giving you signs, maybe feeling sluggish, that you need to make that change. That's where I come in, because I start to educate you around food and how it can help you, and how if you eat the right foods, you won't be hungry. So if you're not hungry, that means you're not going to be snacking mindlessly. It's all about educating, and also to really drill home that everything that we're eating has a direct impact on our organs. So I focus mainly on liver health, and liver health isn't spoken about enough. A lot of people believe that unless you're drinking alcohol, you're not going to have any liver issues. But there's such a huge rise in people who don't drink alcohol, and they are developing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It's on the rise, and it's something that I am helping in terms of getting the message out there, saying sort your diets out. Let's look at ways where you can lose the weight, but in a sustainable manner, and in a manner that you can do for the rest of your life. It's not a fad diet. There's no quick fixes here.
Wow, I have to share what Manjeet said about you, and it's something I feel about you as well. Sharon is wonderful, understanding, supportive, caring, and so real.
Thank
And
you, Manjeet.
that's one thing, that's another thing I've noticed. You share so much, you give so much. But when you give so much, like, a lot of people feel like if I give so much, I'm not going to get any work. Is that the case?
No, it's not the case. I was saying it to you a couple of weeks ago. I had a DM come through. A lady was very honest with me, saying, I've just been diagnosed with fatty liver disease. I can't afford to work with you. Is there any tips you can give me? So I gave her the tips that I thought would help her. And I did also say to her, go to my page. There's so much free information there that actually you shouldn't need me. But the reason why so many women come on board is because they need that accountability. They need someone to just be their cheerleader and say, you're doing it right. You know, it's okay. It's okay if you have a slip up. It's okay if you have one bad week, or, you know, or the day isn't going the way you want it to, or you've had a bar of chocolate. It's fine. No damage has been done. And I think that's why people invest, because then they know that, you know what, it's okay. I'm not going to get somebody telling me off because maybe I've gained a pound or two. I'm not going to have somebody judging me because I've eaten this, because, you know, I live in a joint family, so I've had to eat whatever my mother-in-law's made.
Yeah.
That's a scenario I'm working with at the moment. I'm working with a lady who, you know, she's got a young family. She's living with her in-laws. Her mother-in-law does the cooking. So she doesn't want to offend her mother-in-law, which is why she's still eating the rotis that are being made. And I'm saying to her, it's fine. Have the roti. Roti isn't an issue here. It's how much you're actually consuming. That's why you actually gain the weight. It's nothing to do with the rotis and nothing to do with homemade cooking. Homemade cooking's best. It's fresh. You know what's gone into it. I'd rather you have that than order a takeaway.
I love it.
It's getting that education behind it.
Exactly. It's about holding the other person's hand and telling them, look, this is not the issue here.
And if you look at our ancestors, our moms, whatever, they've all been brought up on homemade food. That wasn't the issue. The issue now is there's so much at the space, you know, of a click. Uber Eats, for example, Deliveroo. You want something, it's going to be delivered within 10 minutes. So the thought process of actually making something from scratch is taken away because the convenience comes into it. And I get it. Everyone's busy. Everyone's got busy lifestyles. But there has to be a change within you to think, you know, okay, I am busy, but I can prep. I can prep in advance. I can make a meal plan. I know exactly what I'm having. I can go to Tesco, Sainsbury's, whatever, do my shopping so that I know what I'm doing for the week. Yeah. Again, it's going back to the basics and understanding that food, fresh food, is not going to harm you in any way. If you keep going for these takeaways that are rich in fat, sugar, and salt, yes, ultimately it will harm you long term if you keep eating like that.
That's what I do. I'll bring a bunch of broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and just put them in containers. And whatever it is I'm eating, anything, I'll just throw some of the vegetables in a pan with ghee. I love ghee. A dash of salt and pepper, and boom, like I have the crunchiest, most delicious meal in front of me. And it took minutes, all because I prepared.
And it's about add bulk to your diet. So I've posted 2 reels in the last couple of days, and they're just about salads and how you can actually turn a salad into a meal without getting ravenous afterwards. Because a lot of people just have lettuce leaves and think, okay, 10 minutes later, I'm still hungry. Well, you will be hungry because you've just had something that is mainly water-based. Add your protein, add some chickpeas into there, add some, you know, hummus into it, add some feta cheese into it. Make it more nourishing. Add some fresh peppers in there, add some olives in there. You know, so I've been giving people pointers or ideas, especially in this weather, of how you can still eat well, but remain full. And I think that's the goal here. You need to be satiated so you don't end up snacking needlessly.
Do you think because people don't allocate time to eat and they're surfing their phone or doing work, that maybe their body doesn't register that they're full?
I think people who maybe don't register their full, as you said, they're distracted. Maybe they're eating in front of the TV. Maybe it's on the phone. Maybe it's, you know, on their laptop and they're working. Setting aside 10, 15 minutes just to have that meal, turn everything off, connect with your food, actually chew your food and register what it is that you're eating. How many times should they chew? At least 15 to 25, at least 15 to 20 times. Chew your food, liquidize it. Digestion starts in the mouth. You know, savor it. Because it's going to take a while for, you know, your mouth and your gut and your brain to actually think, okay, I'm full now, I'm registered now, you know, I'm full.
Wow. I heard 26 times.
I haven't done. Next time I'll count, but I think about 15 to 20 times.
But once it's liquidy, you can
liquidize. Swallow it. Yeah.
Now, someone's put here, My diet is so out of the window because of my job. Gets so lazy. She gets so lazy around food.
Hmm. Okay.
Meal
What
prep.
kind of job have you got? And yeah, meal prep. Everyone can meal prep. Go
Yeah.
to Sainsbury's or whatever and get those frozen vegetable bags. They're great.
What's
They're
your
really
take on
nutritious.
frozen food?
Frozen food is the best. Do you know why? Because the nourishment stays in there quicker. It's picked up, it's frozen, the nutrients are really sound. Whereas you think about it, otherwise something is picked, it's then transported from wherever it's coming from, it's then going onto a shelf, it's then getting touched by so many people, and by the time it gets onto your plate, it's still going to be nutritious, but it's not going to be as nourishing as something that's just been picked off the field and frozen. Yeah.
I was blown away when I heard that. Because I
Really?
criticize frozen food, like frozen. No, 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 no. I do fresh. I chop my own vegetables, and there's this ego pride going on there. Until this was brought to my attention, and I was like, I never in a
Yeah.
gazillion years thought of it that way.
I have got
And
so
it's
many
so true.
bags of frozen vegetables in my freezer, even the 2 minute ones I can quickly bung in on the days that I'm busy. But for that lady who's saying she's really busy, think about quick meals that you can make. I mean, you can make a batch of couscous, for example. Go to my page,
Yeah.
you'll see the recipe. Batch of couscous that will last you 2 or 3 days. Then have it with a piece of salmon if you eat fish, or have it with, say, like a protein version, or you can have it on its own, because these meals that I've created are done so that they keep you full for long, not so that it's just a little side bit. You can have it as a main meal. I mean, my husband came home a few days ago and he likes his meat, but he came home and he was like, "What's this?" I said, "This is what we're having today." And it was all plant-based, all vegetables. And he was like, "That's not going to keep me full." I was like, "Have it." He had it. And I was like, "Are you satisfied?" He's like, "Yeah, that was good." There you go.
Wow. And another thing is, until you don't try it, a
Yeah,
lot of times we don't give it a go because there's judgment around it, and that judgment
yeah,
comes from either our laziness or just lack of convenience.
yeah.
And ah,
It is. And just going back to that lady who hasn't got enough time, I mean, she can, apart from frozen, get your tinned peas, get tinned fruit if you want. Make it easier for you. There's no right or wrong here. Make it easier for you and write down a list of what you need. So when you do go to your shop, you are fully prepared and this is what I want. And most of the stuff you need, you'll find on the outskirts of the supermarket. I don't know if you've noticed this, but your fresh fruit, milk, eggs, always on the outskirts.
yeah.
On the inside lanes, that's where you got your crisps, your cakes, your buy one, get one for £2 or whatever. Your offers are in there. The nutritious stuff that you need are always on the outskirts.
Amazing. But that's because they want you to.
They want you to
Oh,
go around and be like, "Oh yeah, I might as well pick up those Jaffa cakes there. They're really cheap."
it's on sale. How can
It's
you
on
say no
sale.
to a
Yeah.
sale? Wow. I mean, for me, it's been mind blowing getting into conversations with you and you coming into my life. And it's just the little things that you learn and you walk away with can help shift your obsession because yeah, I do judge myself like I'm a mother. I should be cooking 14 meals fresh a day. And otherwise I'm killing my family. Literally, it's that extreme. And when I hear things like this from you, it really helps me calm down. Like, no, this is
Yeah.
okay,
It is. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I mean, even if, say, for example, you're making dal, like I've said to my clients that I work with, batch cook it, freeze it, stick it in the freezer, and then the day you want to have it, take it out in the morning. That's it. Job done. No stress involved.
How did you get onto this path? Like, what made you realize this is what you want to do?
Two things. So as a child, I was very overweight, and I did
I don't
most, if
believe
not,
that.
I gotta show you the pictures, Deepa. I was very overweight, and I did all the fad diets. Nothing worked. I then joined a gym, thinking that's going to fix it. It didn't fix it because you can't out-train a bad diet. That saying is so true. I then hired a personal trainer who said, "Listen, show me a food diary." Did it for a week, and she was like, "Where's your carbs?" And my sponsor was, "I don't eat carbs. Carbs make you fat." She was like, "Where are you getting this information from?" I'm like, "That's what I've been reading from these magazines." She's like, "Right, from now on, listen to me. You just listen to me now. Carbs do not make you fat. You need it. It gives you energy. It gives your brain glucose. It helps you, focus throughout the day. Eat your carbs. And sure enough, I did everything she told me to do. So carbs, protein, fats in my diet, and the weight started to come off. I then invested in books for nutrition, started reading them and thinking, do you know what? This is making a lot of sense. And then, unfortunately, my dad developed non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. He sadly passed away from that. And then I got even more into it, thinking, well, how did that happen? Because I always thought that your liver, anything going wrong with it, was
It's
associated
alcohol
with
related.
alcohol. And I was thinking,
Yeah.
how did I not know this? And it's only until it happened to us that I've now gone into this with the view that I'm now going to help people or spread this word, because no one knows about it. So in a nutshell, that's how I got into it.
You've given a lot of tips, but if you could sum up all your tips into 3 that someone like that busy lady can walk away with and make a shift in her life, what would you recommend?
Prioritize protein in your meals, because protein is harder for your body. It takes longer for our bodies to digest, which means that it keeps you satiated. You're fuller for longer. 2, don't forget hydration. You need to drink your water. I'm not going to say to you drink 8 to 10 glasses. Once your urine is clear, you're hydrated. That's how I view it. I don't go by making sure I had 8 glasses. My urine is clear, I'm hydrated. And please eat your vegetables. I would say bulk your plate up, because the more you bulk, think about what you can add to your diet, not what you can take away from your diet. The more you add, so more vegetables into your diet, especially at meal times, you will yourself feel that you're fuller for longer. Your bowels will start moving better. Your skin will start looking better. Everything will just start to flow nicely.
Flow. I love that. Absolutely love that. I heard somewhere, like, if you're craving sugar, have some berries. No one got fat eating berries. And I'm like, that's such a nice way to put it.
That's
It's
where to
hard
put it, right?
hitting. It's hard
Frozen berries are
hitting.
nice.
Oh, yes. Have you ever had
And even
frozen grapes?
yeah, I was just about to say, frozen grapes are amazing. It's
I
so good.
love them.
So good. It's like having a boiled sweet.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's so good.
Wow. And what's a book that has changed your life and you would recommend? It doesn't have to be nutrition related, it doesn't have to be spiritual. Any book that you've picked up at some point and it changed you.
Funnily enough, it is a nutrition book. It's called Nutrition for Life. And I picked it up in my early 20s, and I've still got the book. I still refer back to it. It just simplified nutrition. For somebody like me, who used to be all these fad diets, and used to think whatever, I don't know, Weight Watchers or Slimming World was telling me was true, this busted it out and just gave me the facts and told me exactly why our bodies need certain things and how to have the hyper-palatable foods, for example. So if I wanted a piece of cake, it's not bad. You can have it. It just educated me. And that's one book that I go by. It's brilliant.
Thank you for sharing that. And what made you feel like you aligned with the Quantum Wellbeing event in September?
Do you know, it's my passion to teach people about liver disease. And what better platform to come onto and talk about it and share the knowledge that I've got, so that in the hope that somebody, even if it helps one person and they don't develop that disease or they reverse that disease, I've done my job. I've done justice to Dad. And I just think this has to be done, because not many people are talking about it. If you look on any platform, there's hardly anyone speaking about this. Everyone's telling you to be in a calorie deficit. Everyone's talking about being overweight, but no one's talking about organ health. No one's telling you how important, how vital your liver is just as important as your heart.
Even in Eastern philosophy, in yoga, in Chinese medicine, the liver is like the parent. It's also known as the orchestrator. Without the liver, the other functions are a bit like, I don't know what to do, you know. And
you gotta view it as like the head chef. It's telling you what needs to be done. And if that fails, all your organs are going to fail. Essentially, that's what happens. Your organs communicate with each other. And if the main organ isn't communicating or is dying, you're going to die. I can't think of another way to, or a nicer way to put it, but that's what ultimately what will happen.
I mean, we treat death like it's morbid, but it's a fact of life. The way birth isn't
Yeah.
actually guaranteed as death is,
Yeah.
but it's heartbreaking that we focus on all the other areas and not organ health. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about how intimate and detailed you can be with your work and how you help your clients. You go to the root.
Yeah. It's not about this is good, this is bad. It's like, okay, understanding your
No.
why. What's your core value for a start? Why do you want to make this change? Because if it is, I want to lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks, I'm not for you, because I don't advocate that. If you want to make a change and you want to work with me, it has to be something you do for the rest of your life. And it's a change that you have to commit to. Because I can see a lot of people, they want a quick fix. They want something that was done yesterday. You know, they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to be patient. They're expecting too much from their body and don't realize that they've been eating a certain way for maybe a decade, 2 decades. Their body's not going to change overnight. It's not going to change in a month. So when you see these 90-day programs that are going, guaranteeing you transformational results or guaranteeing you're going to lose like 30 pounds in a month, really check in with yourself and think, really? That sounds a bit too good to be true. What is the sacrifice here? 9 times out of 10, you're going to be put on a calorie deficit and you're going to be given, say, an allowance of 500 calories. That's no way to live. And that's no way to treat your body either.
I heard that weight loss is 70% diet, 30% working out, and then maintaining is 70% working out, 30% diet. Do you agree with that? Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but for me, diet is up here. Then you got
Yeah.
your working out. Your diet is gonna be the forefront of how your body ends up. So your composition is down to what you eat. And the
Why do
hardest
you
thing
think?
once you lose weight is maintenance.
Yes,
It's so hard to stay there. It's easy to lose weight. It's easy. But staying at that point and continuing on any habits I teach you or continuing on with this lifestyle change is hard, because life is going to hit you. Something's going to come in the way. You will have a roadblock. How do you get over that roadblock? Do you turn to food and go back to day one? Or do you do everything that you've been taught and think, actually, do you know what? I can solve this in a different way without turning to food, without comfort eating, without thinking that food is going to solve my problem.
I love it. I love it. And that's a lot of food for thought, people. Sit with it, be honest with yourself, and understand your own habits, because through those habits, through that understanding, through that awareness, you can actually bring a shift into your life.
You can.
Wow. Thank you for this. Thank
No,
you
thank
so
you.
much. I mean, you were a bam, bam, bam. There's no ifs, ands, or buts with you.
I know. Maybe I shouldn't be too direct.
No, it's what we need. You don't sugarcoat things. You're not, you don't add the fluff. Like, this is what it is. This is how it is. Bada bing, bada boom.
Get a job done.
Wow, thank you so much for this. I really appreciate you taking out the
Oh, thanks
time.
for
And
having me, Deepa.
uh, honestly, please go to Sharon's page, Nutrition and You. It's so informative. Every post of hers, you will walk away with something. And I admire you so much. What you said, even if it changes, um, James is asking book recommendations. That book that you recommended, Nutrition for Life.
Nutrition for Life. I've got it here, actually. It's by Lisa Hark. It looks like that. It's really
Okay.
good. That's a good one. Rhiannon Lambert's Science of Nutrition is a good one.
Yeah.
My favorite subject in this book was about why we need to have the micronutrients. So everyone
Oh,
told you need to have fruits and you need to have vegetables, but no one told you why. So this book actually broke it down, saying actually you need this because you're going to get fiber from that, you're going to get vitamins from that, you're going to get minerals from that, it keeps you fuller for longer. It also spoke about protein sources that you can get from vegetables, because a lot of people, I always thought protein main source was meat. Didn't actually think about plants as being a source of protein either. But it's only once I went into this book and went into nutrition more that I understood, actually, do you know what? Plants are a great source of protein.
Oh, wow. I hear broccoli has more protein than meat. Is that true?
It has got protein in it. Don't quote me. I think it's 9 grams, I think, per serving. I'll get back to you on that one.
Mm. Another great question. What are your thoughts on acidic and alkalizing foods or alkaline foods? Which is the best approach?
What are you trying to achieve?
Well, I guess we have a pH balance, right?
If you're having everything in moderation,
yeah,
it's fine. But if you say you're going to sit there having lemon water thinking it's going to help you detoxify, which a lot of people do, and I'm seeing a lot of reels on this, it's not. If you add lemon to water, it's going to take taste of lemon. In terms of detoxifying, that's what your liver does. Our liver does over 500 functions a day. One of those functions is to remove toxins from your body. So please, if you have bought a detox plan, or if you have bought one of those teas, bin them, because they're not going to help you. You're going to end up on the toilet.
You're going to shake a lot of people's core.
Well, I mean, you know, I've done it myself as a teenager, thinking, oh, this tea is going to help me. It didn't.
It just, makes you sit on the toilet.
There's too much out there at the moment in terms of false information or misleading information, where I saw the other day someone was saying drink lemon and ginger, you will lose weight. No, you won't. You won't lose weight. Weight loss is done by being in a deficit, having less calories than what your body's using. If you're having less than what you're expending, you'll lose weight. If you're having the same as you're expending, you're going to maintain. And if you have more than what you're expending, you're going to gain. And I did comment on there saying, no, I'm pretty sure you need to be in a deficit, but then I got blocked. It happens.
I'm glad you did. But when I hear lemon ginger, I think of immunity. I think of, resolving a cold. Or
I mean, like ginger, for example, it is anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
It will like help you in terms of colds and whatnot. But don't tell me it's going to help somebody lose weight, because it's not. Let's stop giving out false information and actually give people real information so then they can take away with it.
That's like when people ask me, do you do yoga for weight loss? I'm like, dude, if you just did yoga, you'll feel a difference. You'll be more mindful and aware of what you eat, how you live, everything. So I don't go around promoting yoga as weight loss only, you know? What are your thoughts on traditional Ayurvedic approaches to diet?
It's been around for centuries, Ayurvedic.
Yeah.
Our parents, our ancestors have done it.
Yeah.
So I don't see Ayurvedic as something as a woo-woo thing or something new. It's always been there. And there's nothing wrong with it as long as that person isn't promoting it and saying, do this, or say use this oil, for example, on your forehead and you'll lose weight. As long as it's not going that way, Ayurveda's fine.
Yeah. But what's this in Ayurveda? And I believe it to some extent. Well, I do believe it.
I know you do. I know you do.
Is you don't mix fruit and fruits with other foods. It actually, your body requires different enzymes to break down fruit and food.
So you wouldn't have fruit with, I don't know, meat.
People throw fruit in their cereal.
A weird combination, right? A weird combination. But you would have that as a meal on its own, wouldn't you? You wouldn't pair it with something. I mean, like fruit and yogurt go together, for example. But you wouldn't pair it with something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but even fruit and yogurt is a no-no in Ayurveda. Like porridge. Some people throw bananas in their porridge. That's a no-no.
But it doesn't do your heart. I don't believe it does your body any harm. I know in Ayurveda they may say it, but I think it goes by case. How do you feel after having that meal?
Yeah.
If you've had a reaction, say for example, you're feeling bloated or you just don't feel right, then you know yourself that, you know what, that combination doesn't work well for you. Because what works for you isn't necessarily going to work for somebody else. We're
True.
all unique. We're made up of different microbiomes. It's very different. We all need different things. It's not a one size fits all.
I like that. I like that. Another question. Are fruits that have been hybridized to be seedless less nutritious than the original seeded versions?
I don't understand the question. Do you mean when the seeds have been taken out or chopped up?
Are fruits that have been hybridized to be seedless less nutritious than the original seeded versions? So do you think
I'm going to go away and research that and get back to you on that. I mean, if this person's asking me, for example, when you take the fruit and you cut it and it's then put on the shelf for sale, is that less nutrition than something is that the question?
Hybridized as in nowadays you get a seedless watermelon, which is beyond
I
odds.
haven't come across that yet. Can you get a seedless watermelon?
Yes, they're in the
Really?
main shop.
I have not come across that yet.
I actually find the most authentic and original watermelons at like those desi shops, you know, those mom and pop shops.
Yeah, I know.
Not like the Tesco's and Sainsbury's. Their watermelons are quite seedless and questionable.
It's interesting you say that because we had a watermelon last week from Sainsbury's and it was packed full of seeds.
Okay.
There was
I haven't had that experience. It's hard to get.
But I will get back to you now anyway.
Even oranges. I remember eating oranges packed with seeds in them. Now, I'll be lucky to get one.
You get 1 or 2 pips in them now.
Yeah, exactly. And even grapes. They're all seedless.
Yeah. I don't think, I mean, I will do my research on this, but I don't believe that impacts the nutritional value of the product just because the seed have been taken out. I think it's done for convenience because people don't want to spit it out.
Which I think, again, instant gratification.
That goes back to what I was saying to you before. It goes back to what I was saying to you before. You know, people want something yesterday. They're not waiting. They're not willing to put the work in. They're not willing to do things. They want it now. And this is the same with our foods.
Oh, it's like the epitome of laziness. Come on, people. Wow. Thank you for this. And once you've done your research, I'd love to.
Oh, I'll come back to you. You'll hear from me within 48 hours. I'll be back. I'm on it. I'm on it.
I love it. Thank you.
Thanks, Deepa.
Your 3 tips have been so informative. The books that you've recommended, I hope people go out there and dig a little bit deeper. And meal prep. Don't think frozen foods are bad for you. I really appreciate your insight. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa.
I look forward to September.
Oh, cannot wait. Not long now. Take care. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.